So Top Gear, the UK version, is riddled with class-based guilt and resentment, whereas you lot are just having a stubby and doing some donut work in a Holden. Is that basically it?
That would be it.
Yeah, I think that's probably true, isn't
I
it?
think it probably is. If I was a smarter person, I'd try to introduce class, but I wouldn't get away with it. When we're looking at a car that's Australian made, it's either a Commodore or it's a Falcon. So it's kind of hard to be elitist or statist or anything about that. There is no level to it. But as soon as we get a supercar, if you get a car like this, then clearly it's going to be only affordable for the people who make $1 million. And then in Australia, I think the only difference with that is we go, they're an expensive twat. So, you know, anyone that's got that much money, as we know in Australia, we love anyone that's one tats lotto, but as soon as they spend 1 cent of it, they're a wanker.
Everybody was a Bogan once. I mean, there was a time when all men equally were Bogan, wasn't there?
Which in Australia we just call youth.
Yeah.
Teenage years.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's probably largely true in Britain as well. Plus, we can sort of, you know, hide behind the odd medieval cathedral and things.
When we're making our show, and that's why we do say it is half up to the audience. If we turn up in a Falcon, you know, if we turn up in a Holden ute and do a story where we drive across the Nullarbor in a ute to see how far we can get on just 3 tanks of fuel, then Australia go, yeah, but you've just put yourself in a ute and you've driven across Australia, that's so Australian. But if we turn up, you know, in a Lamborghini and go around a racetrack, they go, yeah, but they've already done that on Top Gear UK.
I think that the answer to this is that in the future, and this is a great day that I'm looking forward to, cars will become a hobby because the means of getting about will have found a better way to do that, just as cars were once, you know, better than buses and steam engines. But when that happens, we can stop to a certain extent worrying about whether or not cars are practical. We can even, to some extent, stop worrying about whether or not they're reliable, because anything that requires reliability will be met by our levitating antimatter-powered capsules that we ride in. And then your car will be an indulgence. And, you know, the same thing happened to canal boats and sailing ships and steam locomotives and so on. And we will have, you know, your daft Holden or your Ferrari or your uncomfortable Lotus or whatever, but it won't actually have to do anything. It will just be something you do because you love it. And then the world will be a great place. Everybody you meet on the road will like driving, so they'll be better at it. Things like road tax and fuel prices will be very high, but you won't be obliged to pay them because you're only doing it because you like it. This is what happens in light aviation and sailing, so it's fair. I think it'll be great.
It's a wonderful way to wrap up an interview. Thanks.
It's okay.